later. So it's like there's something about Aurora's lineup that is just really scary. But if you ask me like what is your like go-to fun pub looking lineup, it is Tidebound. It says like this just constant fight. Yeah, exactly.
I do kind of like the fact that both team, or rather neither team, has a reliance on any long cooldowns. And any cooldowns they have, we're going to have the kind of dance of baiting them out, trying to set the trap, and then fight after they're done. Like Aurora, you know, you've got Focus Fire and Lasso, basically, as the big ones. And then Time-Lapse, and maybe the Vendetta out of the Nyx in terms of safety and scouting over on Tidebound. Once you have the info that one of these is down, you know, you could find yourselves in a good position. But this is just, I mean, ideally, this is a game where they just fight non-stop. Tons of 2v2s and 3v3s. A load of scrapping. We'll find out how it goes, though. Laning stage, super important. That might be something here Aurora are going to be feeling more comfortable with their Mirror Bat and Ollie Chen as very signature heroes. And as usual, we've got both teams smoking to get themselves across the map secretly to place down some wards. Let's see if they can grab up these bounty runes. As Y and Echoes have seen the Ollie Satyr. And they'll go for the freebie money. 19 gold. 11 experience apiece. Nice little bonus there before the lane stage starts. Shiro was unable to get the top bounty rune, but down at bottom, a shackle shot onto this bristleback, and Mira stacking up the damage. The fire just keeps on coming from this Bat Rider. The quill sprays are good, but not good enough. And Mira, can we break free of this Nyx Assassin? No. Planet will get the trade. But Aurora will get that first kill of the game.
Yeah, we didn't mention it, right? But you know, with the Nyx Assassin picking it into Bat Rider, that's where Aurora have done the lane swaps. Bat Rider is one of the best heroes at chasing melee supports who want to pull waves. And Nyx Assassin, you know, 98% of his laning phase is I need to pull the wave. Like there is rarely a moment where he plays inside the lane, you know, utilizes his toolkit to try and bully. Like no, he's a lane puller. So yeah, Aurora have just such a strong matchup there in the safe lane, which will force the kind of Bristle to deal with either a winner poking him non-stop, or even the 2v1 where Bat punishes Nyx and then gets to play onto the hero. But as I mentioned this, you can already see Planet.
Oh,
yeah,
the miss uphill.
This is how bad it is. It's like it's close to unplayable for Nyx Assassin.
It might lose his courier as well as Mira chase that down. But Toronto Tokyo up at top has died to the Jakiro and the Weaver. Not much Ollie could do to save his Timbersaw up there. That's even without the Swarm or anything like that, just level 2 Jakiro.
First pick it, win game. Actually, what is the win rate on Jakiro? The thing is, like, when everyone plays the hero, it then becomes like statistically a bit
middling.
More like 50. Yeah, okay, it's 58% win rate. And for every team entertaining picking it, that is proof the hero is pretty good.
Yeah. And Toronto Tokyo returns to lane and immediately goes to half health. This is not fun.
Well, it is if you're Tidebound. What are you on about?
From his perspective.
Nah. It's true. The eyes of the player.
And Planet's going to make sure that Storm does not get the bottle refill. So a little bit going there the way of Echoes, as he is slightly behind Makoto in last hits. Stack Slide is one hell of a spell. Or facet, rather.
It really just kind of gave so much life to Storm Spirit. Like, the whole point of Storm was you have to like walk into the creep wave to then use your spells, and you add Static Slide, and now he's like viable in so many more matchups. Now, if you ever want to make Storm irrelevant, that's it. He has to be careful though. No. Couple clicks. Meanwhile, Ollie dies in top lane. Yep.
That's a hard off lane for both sides.
Yeah.
Bristleback,
when
9 last hits, at least
Jakiro,
Timber has 14.
But it makes sense, right? Like, you got Weaver Jakiro, that is a kill lane. You have Bat into what I already mentioned. It's like, yeah, their safe lanes should be dominating on both sides. And that's where, of course, you need to look towards, I think, the mid lane when you have these type of setups. It just takes one active rune on a Storm or a Slardar to then kill the aggressive lane. because of course, like Weaver's always stepping up into the Timber. The Windrunner is stepping up into the Bristle. So if you get one stun from a Nyx or Jakiro or whatever on the side lane, you can create these opportunities to counterplay. But it's just non-stop poking.
It also means that Planet is having to lane maintain rather than stack Ancients or anything like that. So they haven't built up any stacks in the jungle for the Bristleback to fall back on. So it makes it even more important that this Slardar actually plays into side lanes.
Oh yeah,
it seems like Nightfall is having some problems.
Have we seen Nightfall on camera yet? I forgot to actually look. I was looking elsewhere.
Nope.
Okay.
Still frozen.
All right, guys. I'm gonna say it. I think his camera might be frozen.
I think so.
Because the Ghost of Nightfall, he's a strong laner. Look at him. He's reconnecting. Luckily, we've not paused the game to try and get him to fix the camera. That would make it a lot more.
I mean, that would take forever. he's not
like a pro player trying to do tech support.
No, no. I don't even want to think about it.
Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in, mate?
Yeah. What's a plug? Ugh.
This USB won't plug in. It's the wrong way round.
Uh-oh.
No, Smith!
No, Smith. No.
Oh, what have you done?
He's gonna blue screen his computer and never come back now.
Oh, God, no. Why did we talk about it? No, maybe we reminded him. Maybe they were listening to the broadcast.
What's the real-life equivalent of a BKB?
He has it because of camera. See, this is what I mean about tech support.
So has lag because of camera, or?
Yeah, he's claiming that the webcam is causing him to suffer.
Okay.
Unless he's streaming himself in like ultra 4K. What's the really bougie camera they use where it's like in film and stuff, and then what's the format? I don't know enough.
I don't know, but I'd imagine he's using some slow-mo camera. Mid lane, though, Mikoto's getting stunned up and caught. Planet finally making a rotation in before Storm hits 6. Oh, that's a trade kill, though. The creep wave comes in and helps Mikoto kill Echoes just after the Storm dies.
Yeah, for Mikoto, that is so kind of such a revival, right? If he dies there, it is despair, but good for him to get the kill there.
Already a tricky laning stage for Tidebound, though. Like, Slardar is behind a couple of waves to the Storm. As Bristleback is starting to clamber his way back up. The Wind Ranger within reach now. It hasn't been easy. Like, every last hit is a battle. But top lane, even after Toronto Tokyo dying once and then looking pretty poor in the first 3 or 4 minutes, Ollie's Chen has gone back, stacked camp, started farming jungle. And Timber has kind of just been left on an island up here to get what he can, which apparently is quite a lot still.
Yeah, I mean, after the 5-minute mark, you can just aggro the creeps, right? So we do see Bristle dying in the bot lane, but yeah, it's just the silly mechanic that offlaners have gone for. When it's not even gone for, but they've reminded that it exists, because I don't think, at least in the last year or so, they never utilized it so consistently. But coming into the last couple of tournaments, you hit that 5-minute timer, you're behind the tower, you're dragging waves, you're just doing random shenanigans, because it takes one hero to grab one wave, aggro it for 15 seconds, you TP to your tier 1, and then you create a double wave. And there's nothing you can do, because if you pull a double wave, it will obviously eat the pool camp, unless you have it stacked. So, and you can see that's exactly what's happening right now for Timbersaw, right? He aggroed a wave, TP'd, and now with a double wave, he can now farm safely under his tower. But because of this, Chen can jungle, Bat can jungle, he doesn't need any help. So yeah, it's an interesting little way, but you have to pressure him when he has the double wave, and that's why Planet TP's up top with the Jakiro, trying to look for the kill.
And no free creeps. New is still being forced out of that bottom lane. He's safe under tower for now, while Toronto Tokyo are getting stunned up, and that pressure comes very quickly. He's quite tanky, and after popping his wand, he'll survive a little bit longer here to delay his death. But he's out of this for 20 seconds, and that's a catapult double wave up top. This tier 1 looks pretty dead, honestly.
You know how I set up this idea, like what offlaners can do to get the XP? I love the fact that Tidebound are aware of this. They bring the heroes in, they get the kill, and because of the double wave, 3 tower boys. Not only is it a double wave on a tower, it's a double wave on a tower at 7 minutes with echoes coming in as well. So Toronto Tokyo just kind of giga broke his offlane there.
Yeah, I mean, there's similar things happening on the other side as well, though, right? Like Aurora get that Wisdom Shrine. Yeah. They're pressuring the tier 1 on that bottom side. It's nowhere near as fast. And there could be a defense mounted by Tidebound if they bring numbers, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be entertaining that fact at all. So all things considered, it's just a flat trade, unless Toronto Tokyo dies again. He's got a Timber Chain. Planet is going to be holding that carapace. Shikuchi forward from Shiro. I don't know if they can finish the job here. With 7-1 charges still on Timbersaw, they'll just let him survive. They'll repurpose themselves back through the Ancients towards mid, probably. 8-minute rune is coming up shortly. Okay, offlane Bristleback is level 5. Timber and Bristle level 5, 8th minute. Oh, feels bad.
That is at least, I mean, it sounds bad, but the silver lining is the Timber and the Bristle, right? Both offlaners are in the same position. Now, if Timber was having a good game and Bristle was shut down, then you could already see the path to Tidebound struggling, right? You don't have this like tanky front line to open up for objectives, but if both are struggling, then both will have to recover in the same way. And that's where you look towards the playmakers, right? I think both teams also have playmakers within their lineup. And
Toronto Tokyo is getting dived again. They set up a really nice Shikuchi into Ice Path play. They find him.
He's died 3 times, so that is where in the draft we were speaking about like Timber being high contest rate, but you know, certain teams you have to call the bluff. Like, are they the Timber team? And Jakira Weaver, whew, that has broke the Timbersaw greatly.
Both offlaners are pretty good at clearing stacks if they ever get made. So we'll see if they actually get back into jungle. Right now, though, it's Aurora on this mid-tier 1. Glyph already used. And Tidebound don't have a great way of like poking from range or clearing wave. They're very much hero-centric, hero killers. There's a good amount of damage on that mid-tower. Now Shiro with Y stepping up onto Ollie. A pretty deep dive, and the Storm Spirit's going to look to react. Ice Path off the mark. The Chen still dies, though, as Y gets blown up by the Storm in the back. A 1-for-1 in that regard, but Echoes with a Blood Grenade thrown on him, and Mikoto still having mana in the tank. Balls over the top of this Slardar and gets the bonus kill on the opposing mid laner. It seems like very risky moves from Tidebound. That didn't seem necessary, honestly.
I mean, but look at Shiro's itemization, right? He's got the Falcon Blade. He's looking at a straight Dragon Lance. Like, when we're talking about items for a Weaver, like, we spoke about Deso and Miona. They're like the standards. But he's just going for full stat, full, like, presence. And maybe that type of mindset, you know, we wanted Shiro to be more like this as a carrier player, right? Day 1, he didn't have any of this in him. He was only hitting creeps. So, like, I think, again, it is like a reflection on that shift of a team's identity throughout a group stage, trying to, like, become a better team. But of course, that will take some calibrating as, yeah, Shiro does drag his team into a bit of a spooky position. Yeah, position bot lane. Planet role-playing what it would look like if he did have his ultimate, but at 10.5 minute mark, he only has an Invis rune.
They're all so poor on XP. It's crazy how these lanes broke down. Chen is level 4.5, and he's going to get found. Planet and Echoes. Not a great way of getting on top of the Chen, so the initial stun leads to nothing. And now Mikoto comes across with a long ball lightning. Carapace and 21 charges for Planet, but the damage just keeps on flowing out of that Wind Ranger. Another move gone awry. And just trying to unlock Echoes here as this Slardar. He's not had a great lane stage. Now he's bottom of the net worth on the call list. And kind of scrambling to get this blink. It feels like everyone on Tidebound just trying to find these small items so they can fight as quickly as possible. Blade Mail Bristleback, Dragonlance Weaver, you know, Blink on Slardar naturally.
Oh, nice. I just clicked on Weaver. He is doing it. My boy, he's going Desolator. Let's go, Shiro. Please be a good game. Please be a good game. Please don't just like die 3 times and the game be over. Please prove to the people.
Was it Blast? There was that little puff piece where they were asking like 6 or 7 different carry players what they prefer on Weaver, and obviously like Skitter and a couple of others were like, yeah, Mjolnir's the best. I'm pretty sure a couple of Chinese, that's just being lassoed and killed. I'm pretty sure Shiro plus another Chinese carry were like, we prefer the Deso.
Yeah,
So it definitely is what he rather goes for.
Yeah, it is the Chinese build, which is, again, it's so cool when regions have different perspectives on a hero, right? We do see a bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. Jakiro goes down, Shiro unable to connect on any more damage as of yet, hoping to kill off Mira.
He's gonna get shackled up.
Favor. Yep, very good.
Doesn't kill the bat and dies himself.
I mean, that's the power of Chen, right? Ollie, he just presses one button on his ally. He provides 10 armor. Divine Favor truly is a bonkers spell into physical damage lineup, so yeah. And you also see from Ollie, like, he's not doing any of the builds that we've seen from other Chens, right? He's just going for, I believe that was just a straight Solar Crest. That is just going to open up for more punishment when a Slardar buys the blink and initiates, and then everyone's trying to do this like physical burst. Ollie, if he's in the right place at the right time, buffing up with 10, 15, 20 armor, plus Solar Crest, it is going to be insane. It might just be a good game where you...
right? It's one of the 3 builds on Chen.
Sure, but I think we often see Drum or Mech. It's, again, the point is he's gone for build 3 that we see less than build 1 and 2, right? It's kind of cool. Are you there scrolling through all the Dota buff pages? Are you about to hit me with a well, actually? Oh, I was scared. The pressure. When you go quiet, I'm like,
we talked
brother's
about
tabbing.
We had a discussion about it. We literally talked about it. Slardar can finally get out of his catch-up zone and play some Dota.
I'll be honest, Gareth.
Blink dagger coming.
My brain's a bit foggy this morning, I'll be honest. You know, it's a hard one.
We didn't know this. We never know.
I'm
Weaver
sorry.
on... I mean, Shiro is just out here dying alone again.
Yeah. It's a bit inconvenient, bit awkward.
That's your carry. All the praise we've given Tidebound and Shiro the past couple of days of like improving, tightening up, playing together. And now he's playing Weaver, he thinks he's in here just invincible, like I'm invis, I have time lapse. You get caught by one stun, you cannot react to the amount of damage that Aurora brings. Gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, getting caught on Agitreads with no one charges, that really hurts. He needs some frontline boys. He needs Bristle and Slardar to start stepping up and doing some stuff because the game is like slowly slipping out of their hands. A 3K lead is emerging for Aurora. They're like moving towards Mjolnir Wind Ranger. BKBs when they come up are going to be huge.
Yeah, the problem for Tidebound, you already mentioned the skirmishing itemization that they went for, but they're not turning that into anything. Nothing's happening with it. Like if you buy these items, you gotta be aggressive. Try and find that pick off near Roshan. Like minute 15 to minute 20, you can make these plays. You have Corrosive Haze, you have Swarm, you have Goo. Even the attack slows over Jakiro. Like Roshan dies, so go find a kill. Go be the ones that are crazy. They are smoked up with Slardar and Nyx Assassin. They are trying to now do this, but Aurora, they're ready. They're in position. All 5 heroes.
Mira just has this blink lasso. You get your blade mail off as new, but the damage cut straight through you. Now Slardar and Nyx trying to play back into the Chen. They blow up Ollie. So a little consolation prize there for them. They do defend their tier 1, but this is still Aurora dictating where, when you're playing. They're finding the core kills, and you're just picking up the scraps. I need to do something on their own terms. Like getting Nightfall here would be huge. Echo's got the blink, but they just don't have the reach. And now look at Storm. Mikoto playing with confidence. Double damage, boldly stepping over, shackle shot into the right clicks. And Planet, who was wishing for a kill on Nightfall, just dies himself.
I don't know what to really tell you, Gareth. I'm a little bit lost for Tidebound. I'm looking at them play, and I see a draft that on paper does one thing, but they're playing it as if they've got like just very different heroes. Yeah, it feels quite dysfunctional right now.
It's like they're itemizing to play here and now, but also kind of playing as if they're scaling to late game.
Yeah, like outside of Shearer's aggression, it feels like, yeah, like everyone is just playing this like, I need 4 items, I need perfect CS, I need game to be good. It is a slight concern if you are a Tidebound fan, but for Aurora, they're chilling, right? The laning phase of Timbersaw was, I don't know if we didn't see that. He missed the timber chain. He tried to go into the ancients and he timber chained the ground. But for Toronto Tokyo, like, look at his net worth. Like, he was, what, 3 deaths in laning phase, absolute despair. Now he's second in net worth, fully uncontested. Like, 0 pressure was continuously applied to him. When the wisdoms were going, his team helped him out to snipe them back. So, yeah, like, everything on Aurora is, you know, plain sailing. Smooth sailing. Is it plain sailing or smooth sailing?
Smooth sailing.
Both? Smooth sailing.
And plain sailing might exist as well. Don't know what that means. Like the fact that Echoes like had an okay time, but just hasn't had any impact, I think really hurts them. He's the workhorse of this team, and he's not really been let out of the stable this game. Now his supports are getting picked off, and the map is getting pretty small. Aurora starting to look at just a free game for Mikoto and Toronto Tokyo. What stopped this Storm Spirit from balling on top of you, giving you vision for a lasso, protecting Nightfall through the Timbersaw's tankiness? You need like perfect connections with Tidebound spells, but a sentry there sees the Nyx Assassin coming. Like, the only way in is that Nyx into Slardar play, but Aurora are ready for it. So now Nyx is dead, Slardar has got nothing left to give. I'll try and backstab with Shiro in towards Mira. Another jump crush, but Echoes is just dying. Shackled up to the trees behind. Shiro out the Shikuchi knife. Time lapses back. The relative safety. But you're still looking at New being balled on by this Storm who just has infinite resources. And a tier 2, the prize that Aurora came to claim, is going to die eventually. I mean, Y will be a little bonus for Mikoto. Shackle shot doesn't latch. But Aurora, no resistance against them. They are very, very cleanly going from kill to kill, objective to objective, and they are scaling far better with an 8k lead now.
And look at the itemization, though, from Aurora. It's just beautiful, right? You got the instant Lotus Orb Rush on the Timbersaw, respecting the negative armor. You got the Storm Spirit going for a Shiva's Rush, right? So you now have more armor on Storm. Mira is getting pressured by the Weaver, but the Weaver actually just dies in return. So Shiro, he runs mid, forces his Slardar to die at the tier 1 tower. He goes for the Wisdom. He then dies for the Wisdom. He then farms top, gets picked up again. So unfortunately for Shiro, after what was an exceptionally strong laning phase, really forcing Toronto Tokyo to second guess his choices, he has just, you know, squandered that lead. 3 critical deaths that you just cannot have on a carry. And I would argue, if those deaths didn't come in, maybe it would have inspired Tidebound to make other moves, because at the moment...
Toronto Tokyo, 1 versus 4. He's dead.
Okay,
they got him.
So I had my camera on mid lane, but I was watching like live view, right? And I was like, what was happening? And I just click over, I'm like, oh my god, where are you? Your team's doing Tormentor.
Yeah, he's out in the open.
He is out in the open.
Yeah, there's also a discussion around this Bristleback pick, which I think has been a sticking point. Whenever we've talked about, you know, I think Chinese teams in particular, the comparison of European teams wanting this Tide, Mars, Centaur, yes, some of those were banned this game, but even when they're left out there, Chinese teams still opting for the Bristleback, leaving them so exposed in that team fight department. He doesn't bring a stun. He doesn't bring anything that can latch onto a target and kill them, or delay a push or anything like that. He can just put his body in the way. He needs to farm. He needs creeps. He's quite greedy as an offlaner. You know, I know New is good on his hero and he likes to call for it, but 2020 vision, looking back at it, thinking, this could have been a tie. This could have been something else. Shiro's just dead again.
Shiro!
He's a goner. They Macropie down, but Nightfall has already picked up the enemy carry. New's going to come across, but Mira breaks free up to the high ground. Carapace stun. See, New does damage when he's able to hit. He's just not able to hit. He's getting chain controlled by Centaurs and Vortexes. Storm Spirit is getting turned on, but Mikoto has plenty of resources there to zip back to safety. Another Shackle Shot comes to give Nightfall some damage, but they're not going to follow through on that.
Yeah, just after this game, though, Tidebound are going to have to make sure that I think they talk to Shiro, because this is one of those games that if you, as a coach, if you say, "Oh, sorry, blame it on the draft, blame it on the lanes, whatever," like I think this is one of those moments where you need to actually just have a conversation with Shiro and just make sure he's just confident going into the next game. As they do find a good pick off, you know, getting the Storm kill, trying to get some more life into Tidebound, but this is a. This is a scary game to lose.
They've been able to get something, right? Now Echoes is trying to get that a little bit more.
Big
They've
stun.
got chain stuns.
Okay.
It looks nice.
Shiro's here.
Shiro's arrived just a little bit too late, it feels like. They'll get the kill on Ollie, but Nightfall has been able to get the gap, and now Mira comes in with a lasso on Slardar. Echoes pops a big wand, gets some regen back, but Toronto Tokyo will slay him regardless, and that shackle shot. Bristle and Nyx all hooked up together, leaves them exposed to a Toronto Tokyo Chakram. Nyx will get away, while Shiro Shikuchi's off to the east. Not bad given the circumstances there. 1,500 gold for Aurora, 900 over to Tidebound. When you're behind like this, kind of, I don't want to say trading even, but getting something still feels all right. As long as Shiro doesn't die here. Shiro's gonna die here.
If Shiro...
He's dead here. He's already Shikuchi'd.
Wait.
He's got time lapse.
Help him.
Hang on a second.
Help him. Cast a curse. Aurora, go.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cast a curse them. I say Shiro's dead. He's surely dead, and then obviously he's not. Now we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah. Perfect, Gareth. That's what I meant. I was worried that you were going to stop. I thought you were going to, like, flick the script and say he was going to live. I was like, no.
Can't do that.
Keep the narrative going. Yeah, we need a competitive game. But Aurora is going to walk into Roshan. The thing is, though, that fight there is what Tidebound wishes they were able to, generate in previous engagements. The Bristle going in first, the Slardar counter-initiating, Weaver kind of utilizing the goo getting applied, the corrosive haze to, break down the heroes that have broke formation. The problem is for Tidebound, the first time we see them fight in how we expect their draft to play is after they've lost like 4 fights in a row and it's the 24-minute mark, 10k down. But that here is like, when we see this lineup, guys, this is what we want to see from Tidebound. That exact draft, replicate it, run it back. And of course, into an Aegis, it will be very scary, but if you are a Tidebound fan, like, that's what you need to look for in an engagement. You need to see this type of layering. Of course, BKB is going to be available on Shiro very soon. He did get a kill streak kill on Mira. So at least for this upcoming high ground engagement, there will be a little bit more kind of survivability for Shiro to play on.
Now it's Aegis Shiva's Storm. Like, Makoto is massive. Windranger didn't even go for that rush BKB, got a Hurricane Pike, and now back for the BKB. But you're right, there is this double shiny golden god moment for Tidebound. Slardar, Weaver both have theirs. Bristleback still quite distant. Here's the recipe for it. I'm going to go for the wraparound, though, and try to use this timing to get on top of people. Ollie's the first target they'll reach, but he's broken free. Shiro, BKB's up, getting out of that vortex. Hand of God, going to come out here to keep people topped up and alive, while Makoto zips back in onto the Slardar, finding that second round of fighting. As Toronto Tokyo just standing in front of the Bristleback. Offlaner versus offlaner. I know which one I'm putting my money on. Toronto Tokyo. Tons of damage there, allowing Makoto to get the kill. No buyback on Slardar. Bristle dead for 40 seconds. Planet's going to get dived past the tier 4 towers. Forced to go Vendetta into Fountain. While Shiro knows that this is a lost cause. Goes down to push that mid lane as Aurora transition towards the mid tier 3.
The shiny BKB timings didn't help them.
Not much. They tried. Even with, like, defense advantage, though, like... Oh, no, if you don't have buyback on your Weaver, you're not really going to fully commit. So 2 lanes of barracks down. Maybe Tidebound can find something on the way out. Planet is searching. And they've got an opening on Toronto Tokyo, but Makoto's back in here with a Shiver's Guard and forcing Echoes away. The damage is good on the Timber, though. They've blown up Toronto Tokyo and forced all the mana out of Makoto. They'll still have the Aegis. Nightfall able to put his body in harm's way here.
Makoto wants to die.
Makoto's back in, onto Echoes again. A little touch of damage to finish the job. No, they miss uphill. Doesn't allow the kill, but Shiro has died to Nightfall. Ollie taken down by New, and Makoto just keeps on going. The unlimited resources this Storm has, but now with a second life up, puts Tidebound in some serious danger. He can zip in towards Y with a shackle shot to start. They'll follow through with the Storm. Another pick-off here for Aurora as they get 2 lanes in a row. Another teamfight victory. All around that Timbersaw just dangling himself in front of Tidebound.
I'm defeated, Gareth. I'll be real. I know my job here is to try and analyze the fights, but I'm out. Oh, Makoto, he jumps in.
Echoes not in a good spot.
No. It really feels like Aurora just wants to walk it down mid again. Oh, pause.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. If he imagine if he's not lagging, but he's dropped like 21 frames or something, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not at 300. I'm at like 275. Oh, like imagine if it's something like that."
Yeah, it's like a big difference between FPS ping and packet loss, right? The three dark horses of the lag apocalypse.
Yeah, you really got to pick and choose your battles, but of course, Tidebound didn't have to have any choice in this one. They kind of felt like they were forced into. Of course, they are losing your second Rex of the game. They are trying to go for the chase down, but their lineup on the back foot when already big arm items are in play for Aurora, then it is so easy for them to kite back the fight. Sure, you lose a Timbersaw, but again, just look at the spacing from Aurora. The shackle from Nightfall once again. He just has Shiro's number. I feel like Nightfall has killed Weaver, 3 times throughout this game? And it really just has broken his game. Like, there is nothing to talk about in Weaver's department. It's why sometimes I'm stun locked at the end of a fight, because I just look at Shiro and go, I just feel bad. That's about it.
just say what you're thinking.
Yeah, maybe I should.
I think we all feel bad watching this. We've ever a rough time. Oh, he has got the packet loss. That's the worst of the 3.
That's the scariest. Like, if it's packet loss first, then are we gonna go with FPS second?
I think with FPS and ping, it's difficult because there are like ranges, right?
True.
Like, I don't know, up until, like 0 to 120 ping is like playable, right? Like, ideally you want to be less than 70. But then FPS, as soon as for me anyways, as soon as you get under like 90 or 100 FPS, it's like, this is garbage. I hate my life. I want out of here.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Like, for me, I can play on ping up to like 150, 200 because Dota has really good kind of ping management where your hero starts like snapping and like kind of clicking rather than it being an attempt at being smooth. So you can kind of like stomach the high ping. But FPS, when like, if let's say you're used to, let's say 240, 250, and then suddenly Broodmother PL enters the game and you go down to like 80, that like whiplash of everything just stuttering for a second from like buttery smooth, that is just, headache inducing. So yeah,
it's also the fluctuation, right? Like, if you have 20 ping and then suddenly it's 300 ping, it's that the difference. It's like humans can't feel temperature or wetness. We feel the difference between our body temperature and the external temperature. We don't actually know. We're not a thermometer, right? We don't exactly know what it is. We just know that there's a difference. That's what makes us feel uncomfortable. I think it's the same thing with ping and FPS. I can't say, yes, this is 120 FPS, but I know it's not 200.
But I guess that's where it's like, I was so used to like also like refresh rate monitors, right? To extend it there. It's like, I'm used to 144. Now it's like I use like a 360. It's like, realistic. I don't see anything over 300. We're not playing Counter-Strike. We're not looking for like the fluidity of the guy's head jumping. Like, in Dota, it's like there's like a threshold that you don't need that much. So maybe with the frames as well, you don't really need 400 FPS in Dota. Yeah, it's excessive. It'd be nice though.
But once you've had it for a while, that's your comfort level.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? Because like,
you get like acclimatized to it.
Yeah. Maybe Nightfall can stomach this potential 2% packet loss and close out this game.
I think you've got to do some high altitude training first. Try and boost your body's adaptation to low oxygen levels. try and play with forced packet loss. How do you even force packet? Like, you just DDoS yourself, download some torrents while you're playing. Like, this is how we train. It was something we often wondered with, like, in particular, South American players going from like playing on US East with 150 ping to then playing on LAN. You know, they are used to playing for years and years with this half a second delay, basically, right? And then you go on LAN and that delay is gone. Is it freeing or is it a hindrance to them? Because it is different.
I mean, I think that is where the complexity of like everyone's like personal preference comes into play, because for some players it's always been a hindrance, right? Like when you click that button, you know it's not connecting. So I think for most, yes, it unlocks them, but I feel like some players, they'll be so like used to it, so like attached to like this is their feel, that it will be maybe even like a burden potentially being kind of taken away from how you play Dota. Like think about like the monitor, right? The resolution that you play on. Like there's a lot of pro players that still play on like a small windowed mode because their PC growing up was this like small little monitor that was like plugged into like a laptop or something, right? Like they weren't playing on this like, you know, the tournament grade monitors. So like you can already see that creature comforts kind of lean into a lot of what the players do.
I don't know if it was a meme, but there was like a CSGO LAN survey of the players' resolutions. And I was blown away that like 50% of them were playing on like 4x3, like 1280 by 960. There was a bunch playing on 1024 by 760. Yeah, a bunch of people play on 4x3 rather than the 16 by 9, which blew my freaking mind. But there were a couple of weird ones where they were using like custom aspect ratios, where it was, I don't know, like for their widescreen monitors to try and get them the best view. But they also play the game with their eyes 3 centimeters away from the monitor, right? They've got the monitor literally like within licking distance, which is also pretty funny.
They're looking for that 1 pixel difference. I still like that's the joy. I love hearing like the small little kind of keybind setups for pro players, how they play. Like the fact is in Dota, right? Some people use WSD to move the camera, or you know, things like this. Like the best thing that I've ever heard of recently, you're probably aware of it as well. Like the Counter-Strike player, Mezzi, he just won the major. His Counter-Strike keybinds are right-click mouse to go forward, spacebar, I think. I can't remember. It does something else. Like, but the point is, like,
it was like scroll wheel up is jump, right click is move forward, left click is shoot. Stuff like. And then they've also got like the 90-degree keyboard, or the one whatever, you know, they rotate their keyboard 180 degrees so it's upside down, so they can press certain buttons at a different angle.
Okay, here it is.
Just watching Dota players try and press the Alt key always blows my mind. I find it quite easy to just move my thumb to Alt, but I see some players like rotate their hand.
Ooh. No, to be fair, I use my palm to press control. So when I'm drawing on the minimap, I won't. Yeah. So my whole hand, my palm, my bottom left part of my palm sits on the control key. So then when I want to, like when I'm playing, my hand's like kind of in the keyboard. It's not like resting below. Yeah. Again, everyone's got little different things. So with Mezzi, I just double checked it. It was spacebar is to move backwards, and his right click is to move forwards.
Incredible.
And then he uses his like W key, which traditionally in like movement games, that allows him to just walk. So his like speed control is his natural walk forward, and it's like his like the shooting is his. It's so scuffed, but it's so beautiful because like this player wins majors, wins like 9 events in the year or 8 events, whatever it is. Like just keybind settings, all this stuff. Like really just opens up how do you look at the game? Because again, like it depends on how you enter the game, right?
Sorry, I've just realised we're paused to get Nightfall to fix his camera, and I just he's reconnecting now. I felt it coming. I felt a disturbance in the force. I knew he was going to reconnect at this exact moment. I just imagine the world we're living in is there's 1 fight left in this game. He can't fix it apparently. Excellent. There's
Surely
1 fight left in this game. I feel like
on.
Aurora are like 30 seconds away from winning, so we've just filled for a long ass time.
Wait, we were filling for the camera? Mamma mia! I thought we would just do it.
No, he's having camera issues. We're trying to get him back on
I will
cam.
politely request the management of Aurora to assist Nightfall at mechanics, because I don't. Unless he's using like the web browser version of Discord or something, that might maybe be different to the application, but
Yeah, I mean, he's like for tournament integrity, right? He's got to be on the camera. Like that is the
Yes,
point.
you are right.
Hand
Yes, yes. That was a good point that I had forgot to mention. But yes, based on what Gareth just mentioned, it might sound like a comical thing. I was laughing at it myself, but as soon as you reminded me, it does make, of course, sense. On an online tournament, you do need to have a camera to prove that the player isn't tabbing out to, like, if you see the light flicker on their face, someone behind, again, technically in a boot camp you can see, but the point is, like, seeing if he's tabbed out to see stuff, like, it makes sense. For integrity of tournament, camera on, big thumbs up required. It's just funny that, like, it's the end of the game, like, 2 minutes away, now we're gonna hammer it in. Yeah, but still, let's get that fixed. So for the rest of the games, we don't have any pauses. Thank you very much for our beautiful team to fixing this one. So how's your day going, Gareth? Got any plans for today?
Yeah, I'm doing a practice roast dinner to prepare for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Last Christmas dinner, I messed up my Yorkshire pudding, so I'm pretty upset about that. I'm gonna try and figure that out. And T has just gone. He's left me again. He's disappeared. Do
you want an onion? Do you need?
Thanks.
I got one spare. You know
I'm good. I do not want an
sure?
onion. Yeah. No, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's fine. I've got plenty.
Okay.
I've literally got a drawer full of onions. I have more. Yeah, I have more than I need. It's one of those things where I'm like, I go to the shops and I'm like, do we have onions? And we're both like, we can't remember, so we buy new onions when we already have full onions.
Same. But how many? Okay, so how many kilos would you say you have? Like, do you think you have more onions than I do? Yeah. Like, do you think if we were to do like a household comparison of onion? Because I'm the same as you. I'm a sucker for just adding them to the pantry. What are we saying? How many bags?
Oh, it's like two bags, 1 kilo each, I guess.
Oh, 2 kilos. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of onions.
I mean,
how many is too many onions?
I don't know kilo. I can count. I can visualize. I know how many onions there are. I can count them. Because they're, I don't know, I got some of those kind of normal yellow onions, but the supermarket also had these, like, I don't know, fancier French ones, which come with the stalk still attached or whatever, so they're all wrapped up really nice, and there's like 12 on there. Delicious onions. But yeah, apparently it's good to, I've been trying to fix my diet and stuff like that. I have a nutritionist for both me and my girlfriend, and apparently it's good, especially in the festive season, to have like a dry run of Christmas dinner, because you get to Christmas or you get to Thanksgiving, whatever it might be, and you're like, oh, I'm going to become a glutton. I'm just going to stuff my face full of mashed potatoes and stuff. If you have a practice roast dinner beforehand, like 2 weeks before, it removes some of that, like, greed from you. So you're like not as enticed by everything.
I guess because, I mean, you're not having it like for the first time in the year, right? So it's not. It doesn't become like the go on then. It's more like, I had this 2 weeks ago. It's fine. It's not as good. I've already had my nice little potatoes. Hopefully, Nightfall fixes his camera. By the way, if you are looking at why we're on camera, Nightfall's camera doesn't work. Hence why we are talking about onions and whatnot. The game is
Christmas time. Oh. No, he doesn't like to be on camera.
No, unlucky.
What if I put him in front of my face? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, nice little gonk. Good little lad. But yeah, so we are currently doing a little tech pause. Yeah. Do you think? Imagine if Tidebound win after this pause. By the way, like that would be such a beautiful little storyline. We would. I mean, of course. I mean, to be fair, in my head, the last 9 minutes of this game, I have counted Tidebound out of this one. Like I have been just distraught that I haven't been able to see the Weaver Desolator rip through the game and show the prowess of the item. He has made me look like a fool because I hyped up the build and then but again, not the build's fault. That's the easiest excuse. We're unpausing.
We've got game one. It's back. We've returned.
All right, okay. Quickly, how long until the game ends?
Honestly, like you're waiting to lose, but maybe that's giving them time to theory craft, figure out their plan, how they're going to approach this next team fight. Apparently, right now it is split push and ignore. They've got BKB on Bristle ready.
This is their moment. One fight in the tank. Tidebound.
Can you start on Toronto Tokyo though? Probably not. Start to poke at him and the Chen army. Planet was trying to go in behind to find anybody, but this is a very tight unit from Aurora. All standing together, and Mikoto's going to be the one to start it. Jumps into the ice path though, but a lot of damage onto Y, puts Jakiro in the grave. And the stun's going to miss on Mikoto, so the Storm able to zip away while Shiro chases. Nightfall will turn with a shackle shot on the Weaver. A little more damage to finish the job, but Shiro gets the BKB time-lapse out. Weaver survives while New will chase Ollie's chain all the way back. And Aurora's front line still here with the Timbersaw able to tank through the reinitiation. I don't know if Tidebound can go for Toronto Tokyo. It's a risky one. Another two-man shackle shot is there, claiming the life of Echoes, who does not have buyback. They've stunned the Storm, but this one looks kind of over at this point. Aurora have everything left to give. Tidebound down a hero without BKBs anymore. A very challenging defense of their base going to come to a close as they'll find the next assassin, force the U-Walls. Nightfall picks up the kill on Y to the right-hand side. Planet's about to die. New is back in Fountain, and Shiro being herded like little sheep back to the well. Tier 4s, they're going to crumble. The throne is exposed.
Wait, can we click
I think
Nightfall?
Tidebound, yeah,
Wait.
there it is. They call
Click
GG.
Nightfall. We need to see Nightfall celebrate with
Is
his
it gonna BKB
freshly
TP?
working Canberra.
Nightfall BKB
No.
TP? No, we're
Maybe.
just going to kill off New in the Fountain.
Ah, okay. We didn't get to see.
Yeah, it feels like Tidebound consistently have these drafts where there are blockers. There are things that they have to wait for before they can function. There are, one hero can perform really well and be, on target, get to the deadline, finishing their project, and someone else is like, no, I need another 2 weeks, and this is a blocker. You've got to wait for me to finish before we can actually proceed with the project. It kind of feels like that again, where Tidebound need all of the pieces of the puzzle together, and then they look strong. They need to hit their item timing, synchronize together, and overall, it is a cool draft. But Aurora just have that flow. It's just this never-ending. We don't need 5 heroes to hit 3 items. We can play with 1 item, 2 heroes, 3 heroes here. Play aggressively on this lane. Back up to jungle with this guy. There are way more outs and options for Aurora than Tidebound have in the little universe that I've created in my mind, anyway.
I like the universe. I agree with it. Ooh, Aurora though, late smoke up as 5. They're looking for Shiro. They see him on the ward.
Yeah, bushwhack.
And he
Into Fissure. Light Striker is thrown, but the Fissure is good. Into the Hypnotize. And the Gyrocopter steps up with a final touch of damage for Nightfall to get the first blood, killing the opposing carry already. Just these big 5-man moves. Find a first blood. Already putting Tidebound under your boot. We'll see how the bounty runes go, though, as Echoes and New both grab 1 apiece. Ollie gets a southern one, but it looks like Planet should get that 3rd for Tidebound.
Yeah, it's a cool little setup, right, for Aurora, because we see teams now try to break the trees against Hoodwinks and lane. So they're like, you know what, let's 5-man smoke to where the safe lane of Tidebound might be trying to, eat the trees, deward. If we find someone, we kill them. If not, let's go deeper into the jungle. So yeah, Aurora keep thinking about their lane setups, and Shiro canceling the twin gate of Nightfall, but hold up, there's a team around him.
I mean, Mira and Toronto Tokyo are here with the bushwhack and the damage. Shiro pops the 1, stays alive a little bit longer, but finished off by Mira in the end. And now you've brought Planet down here to try and fight back. Ollie is like, cool. Poison touch, some more damage into this Ringmaster. Looking to try and get back to lane somehow. An utter disaster for Shiro so far. But now it's a bit wonky.
Yeah.
Like, Ollie's dragging wave. He's not able to play back up
Another
the top.
cancel.
Planet is thinking about twin gating, but can't get through there. What even is happening? Is Shiro just going to go jungle now, or what? He's smoked up. He's trying to run down the river.
He's using the river plus the smoke to try and get down to bot lane, but still, we spoke about Shiro having to use the break, the extended break to.
How has New died top?
Because he's alone.
But he was 1v1 against Gyro for ages. Now Dazzle shows up and kills him. Oh, it's all falling apart. And maybe they can get a kill on Mira here with the 2 supports, Planet and Y, chasing the Hoodwink down. Do we have a bushwhack ready or anything? Yes. Mira does have it to delay things and slips away from danger.
This is such a bad feeling for Tidebound. Of course, your carry dies twice. Look at the lane position as well. Pushed into Toronto Tokyo. That twin gate. Canceling the teleports was the big story, right? You've got Shiro trying to go for a TP cancel, he then dies, and Mira beautifully positioned to bushwhack cancel Planet, and then Planet's like, do I really want to go through the 28 again and have no mana? So he feels locked into this kind of like fake tri-lane. Meanwhile, all of that, Dazzle TP stops, so 1 twin gate causing absolute carnage at the start of the game, and Tidebound, they wanted stability, they wanted calm, especially after the last game, and they don't have any of that coming into the second game. Yeah.
Full
reset, lads.
It's bad. Lina with 4 last hits. Mars has died top. Your Void Spirit is also dumpstering mid lane. 15-3 for Mikoto over this Echo's puck. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
Toronto Tokyo is pretty low down here. Trying to get himself close to the creep wave. So at least a little bit of respite for Tidebound in that bottom lane. And New, just in front of his tower, does get a couple more last hits to his name. That means Wisdom Shrine for Aurora. While we do peer into mid. 18-5 now. Mikoto getting tons of denies. Not an easy one for the puck. But this is quite a back and forth matchup. In lane, it can be hard for the puck, but then in game, the coil can really make Void Spirit suffer if they're on an even playing field.
Yeah, they're 22 for 7. Whew. It's obliterating the puck. The puck's always quite a... to me, I always think puck is a reactionary hero, right? In the draft, you want to see what you're laying into, you pick the puck, you dominate. But when you blind pick the puck and open up, you know, big lane dominating players like Mikoto just to lock in his hero, you're already in the back of your mind thinking, what's the comeback?
Didn't realize puck was so political. Planet's gonna get clicked down by the Dazzle. 4-0. And maybe with an active rune, Echoes can play into the side lanes?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Gotta get level 6 first.
Yeah, let's get to 6 minutes, see if he gets to level 6. I mean, you'd assume so. Unless he dies, but yeah. Get the active rune. Of course, Nightfall, look at his positioning. If this happens in a couple minutes' time, that is a coil, a spear break. You are going to kill off the gyrocopter. So I think Nightfall, he's allowed to be aggressive right now, but has to be mindful that the comeback potential in Tidebound is the TPs.
Man, Ollie and Nightfall just pushing so much damage onto New.
But look at Shira in the bot lane as well.
Planet not able to hold them back, while Mira attempting a little move there with a tree and bushwhack, not landing on Shiro. Y is able to hold the line at least, but it is uncomfortable across all 3 lanes. Like a 2k lead, 6th minute of the game, that hurts. Oh, Mira's not gonna land bushwhack there. Am I crazy? There's a tree, he put bushwhack, it didn't touch anybody. Dies. It does hand over Tidebound the first kill of the game, and maybe... Nah, there's no way they're getting Toronto Tokyo. He's far too tanky.
Yeah, they also don't want to step up too far, right? They know that the Void Spirit's level 6. We would know that kind of both of these mid laners, you walk past a certain threshold, they're instantly going to TP. So they need to respect that. 20 seconds away from the 6-minute rune. Ollie's already positioned at the top rune, trying to enable Mikoto. Again, Echoes does not have level 6, so it'll be quite a difficult contest. He's going to have to kind of like preemptively orb, places the ward. Ollie's like, thanks, mate.
Immediate.
Yeah.
So I've seen a couple of times now, Mira's trying to do the bushwhack into Acorn shot, and he's missed like 3 of them in a row. So he might just have to chill on that and go for the straight. He's just missing them. He just keeps missing his bushwhacks. Like, why should be dead here? Well, the Fisher, maybe they'll still have it. It'll take a little bit longer than expected, and there is a TP reaction coming in. Light strike array there onto the Hoodwink. The damage is good from Planet to finish the job, and Y survives in the end, leaving Toronto Tokyo to TP home.
Yeah, sometimes you can have an off day, but every time I've looked down bot lane, it has been a bushwhacks haven't connected, right? You said it was like 3. I think I've seen around a 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But at the end of the day, it's not really changing too much just because of how dominating the rest of the lanes are. And 7-minute wisdom, Mars TPing out, and the Shaker. Let's see if Aurora want to try and contest, because if they can take double wisdom here, that would completely break the supports games on Tidebound. And yeah, they don't want to walk in. Mikoto TP's down, and just his presence alone.
But he dodges Light Strike. Gets right on top of Shiro. Body blocking to try and allow the rest of the team to catch up. He's still got Ether Remnant and an Astral Step to play with. So Shiro is in some serious danger. They do have a coil though. Mikoto is getting turned on. The magic damage burst blows up the Void Spirit. Now Light Strike there on Toronto Tokyo gives Tidebound a new lease on life. They're back in this game after a disastrous first 7 minutes of play. The first puck rotation comes in clutch big time.
I was loving the body blocks. It was just style points, but Puck's looking like, wait, this is my time to shine. He TP's in, great coil. So, if only like the Shaker was level 6, right? And maybe that's kind of then, when we rewind the clock slightly, the missed pushbacks on the Hoodwink, the lack of getting the kills with the Shaker. If Shaker then had a couple kills to his name with that level 6, it kind of enables this play here. But again, of course, all your actions have consequences, and Tidebound have kind of clawed their way back into the game slightly. But still, when you look towards Nightfall, he is going to become a raid boss in this game. 4,000 net worth, doubling up the Mars.
I kind of forgot the new existed in this game.
What a brutal way to... I mean, fair. I mean, Planet's level 3 at 8 minutes, so... Oh, God, have you seen Mira's net worth on the Hoodwink?
Oh. Where's all your money?
He has 0 CS, and... duh. I didn't think it was this bad, but... Yeah, I guess it is.
1 kill, 2 deaths? That's
Yeah,
wild.
but he
Just
has,
spending everything on regen, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he did die a couple times in moments where then things happened after, right? But still.
Reel in. Gonna grab Toronto Tokyo. He's got raindrops and used the wand. No further reaction from Aurora, though. No need for it. Just a mirror bushwhack into Acorn shot. They're not gonna land the enchant totem, so Toronto Tokyo not wanting to stick around any longer. And can't finish the kill. Heads up like that. They're in fact bringing Nightfall and Ollie through the twin gate, though. The classic gyro move, looking for this kill into tower take. It's not immediately happening, and the Naga illusions will eventually scout them. The Dire scan, so they know that people are still around here and reacting. So it's a forward play from Tidebound to try kill Toronto Tokyo. Aurora realizing the jig is up, going to try return to their lanes. As Tidebound have fought their way straight back into this one. But Nightfall and Mikoto take New down for the 3rd time in that top lane.
Yeah, the lane ward from the Dazzle is just giving so much presence for the Gyrocopter to understand, like, is the Mars alone? Is anyone trying to back him up? Keep going for the kill. I'm still having flashbacks to the fact that Lina did die twice at the start of this game, having to walk back to lane at like minute 1. So seeing Lina be second in net worth, it's like, okay, all right. What if those deaths didn't happen? Like, what would the game look like then?
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of that the Watson Lina game from Blast, going 0-3 in lane because he had a Spirit Breaker charging at him non-stop, and then coming out top of the net worth like 15 minutes in and stomping that game, carrying it super hard. You know, Lina is one of those heroes that can suffer early, but scales pretty nicely. If they keep getting kills like this as well, Y is on a spree, keeping Shiro in the lane, and keeping the Hoodwink and the Earthshaker at bay. Speaking of the Earthshaker, Echo slams the creeps, trying to clear out the stacks, but he cannot deal with all the Ancients, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see this aggression then move towards the top lane, right? Like, they are killing bot, they are getting these like recovery kills, the feel-good kills, but at some point they have to shove that bot lane, shove that mid lane, get a twin gate or a smoke play, because when you look at a Gyrocopter, 1.5 components away from Aghanim at like the 12-13 minute mark, that is so scary. Or at the 11 minute mark, he'll get it by 12-13, but the point is, I'm expecting something from Tidebound to stop Nightfall. And maybe it'll be happening soon. You can see from the minimap, right? There is a lot of emphasis on trying to quickly accelerate their own farm, but this is where Aurora, anticipating that potential move, smoking up the Void Spirit, the Dazzle. Again, look at bot lane. It's fully shoved in. The Naga's missing, the Lina's missing. They're not on the map. So they're expecting a twin gate or something. But
New is just dead.
Yeah.
I'll try and spear, try and rebuke, try and run. But his time is over. 30 seconds on the sidelines. Echoes does pick up a DD rune, though. Could find something big from this. Pretty close to finishing off the Witchblade as well. Yeah, having Nightfall get a very fast Aghanims is pretty scary. I've seen how quickly Gyrocopters can just take over the game. with a couple of small items.
Radiant's top tower is under
Like,
attack.
not even bothering to go for Dragonlance or Yash or anything like that. Straight into Ags. And I assume like Crystallis, Daedalus, Satanic will be queued up next. And Toronto Tokyo still farming jungle to get to his blink. Mirror trying to control the Ancients, look for more stacks, but with a coil from Echoes, quickly dispatched with the Hoodwink.
Is under attack.
Yeah, Mira's having honestly quite a rough game. You don't often say that for a player of his caliber, but
Radiant's top
he is struggling. That's Toronto Tokyo behind the tower. 200 gold from his blink dagger. He'd love to survive this, but
He's going to Echo. It's not really going to do too much. And now Ollie inside this arena, speared up, graves himself, stays alive as the Song of the Siren is trying to keep wide Echoes in play. Call down from Nightfall from long range, going to land in onto a couple of heroes as they blow up the Naga Siren. Sharpshooter's there onto Lina. The chase is on. Nightfall stunned up for the moment, but Mikoto has all the gap closed in the world to get towards Shiro. Final touch of damage there as they look towards Planet with Mira's Bushwhack. They line it up to allow the Gyrocopter to come back in and get a big trade to go Aurora's way.
yeah, Nightfall turned up and said, "All right, no more of this funny games. What's happening here, lads? Yeah, I'm finished farming my lane. I'm here to help." Tidebound, it felt like it could kind of work out, but going for a dazzle underneath the tier 2 with a tower aura, with the big burst of heals Dazzle was able to provide to himself, it just kept extending the fight longer and longer.
Radiant structure.
Looking for Mikoto, but they are TPing to tier 2. Ooh, layering the stuns though. That's not gonna be too good of a feeling.
He's still got damage, but he's got a
then-
grave behind him. Ollie's here to save the day. So Mikoto's all right. Even stepping forward to try and find a kill. Oh, was he? Woo! That's madness! Psychotic
That is madness.
gameplay. What?
Am I meant to analyze that? I think the play speaks for itself. He's a loose cannon. He wants to go for the extra play. He wants to impress Nightfall. No, I'm joking. New fair play, right? When you're a Void Spirit and you have barriers, it's always fun to play on your limits, right? But yeah, he just died. He just fed.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm not even sure he gets the kill even if he gets on top of them. Let's see that one back. So he survives. Ollie comes in and literally saves his backside. They dump all these, I guess they dump all these spells into him and he's like, okay, now I'm free. Or maybe he expects Nightfall to come and join him.
Okay, let's look. So he doesn't bottle charge under his initial barrier. Yeah, no, he didn't vessel himself. He didn't bottle charge. He just kind of jumped in, died.
I mean, there's a statement play.
Yeah.
trying to kill the pug, but that's just not good in the end. And that puts us in a dead even game. No net worth difference, no kill difference, basically. Lina is still 2,000 behind the Gyrocopter, but is quickly catching up. Oh, Mars has Blink Dagger. New is back in the game. Amazingly, New is now ahead of the Earthshaker in farm.
Are scanning.
Aurora putting all their eggs in the Nightfall basket. And with this smoke movement, they're going to come into contact with Shiro. There's the Blink Echo Slam straight into the Bushwhack. The Lina is down. Reaction from Tidebound, nowhere to be seen.
I mean, it's a beautiful angle. And also look at the minimap, right? Shiro just drew the line like, guys, they just came from the bottom side of the map and they swung in. Like, who ganks from behind the tier 2 at the 60-minute mark? It's quite a rare move to make, especially with a Gyrocopter, who is quite an efficient jungler. So, yeah, really nice moves there from Aurora to just keep reminding Lina that, hey, I'm the carrier of the game, you are not. 10,000 net worth as we hit the 17-minute mark. Come on, Nightfall, hit a creep so that my statement's true. Okay, well, he didn't, so unlucky.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Echoes does have the Blink Dagger, about 50 gold's time, so And there are some moments for Tidebound to play on, but I'd love to, again, I've said it before, I will say it again, I'd love to see a move where the blink of the Mars, the blink of the Puck, like, go find this gyrocopter. The problem is, Puck and Mars are enabling heroes, right? They use their toolkit to make other people do damage. And Lina is very vulnerable at this stage of the game, right? She doesn't have a BKB, she has no way to like hold her position. So I can see why they're hesitant to want to make these moves.
Well, they're on to Tokyo, but he's got a dazzle behind him. Graved up, saved. Still leashed and in the arena, but apparently fine. As they'll turn onto New quickly with a gyro damage. Mars saved by the Song of the Siren. Oh, but it's the Aghanim side gunner. Just flaks him down. New has fallen, now Y is stranded. Shiro's turned up to try and turn the tide of battle, but a two-man bushwhack. Wheel of Wonder's good, holds back Nightfall, but the damage is done already. Mikoto came in, Shiro got boxed, but they've got the Void Spirit, Ether Remnant landing to get the kill on the Lina. A 3-for-1 as they started on the Earthshaker. They don't even get that initial kill, then losing 2 cores and a support. Another big blow to Tidebound there as Echoes is being eyed up by Toronto Tokyo. 5 seconds for Echo Slam. I was wondering maybe if he goes for that with Mikoto arriving from the north. I'm trying to play for the rune, but Echoes will get there ahead of him in time.
He might go back in.
Echoes, don't go too deep here, buddy. I was wondering if he's going to replicate the Mikoto play. Still pretty far forward, and that's Orb expended. Jumps straight into Mikoto, but blinks away.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever say this on a broadcast, but I'm liking the... Sorry as I choke at the thought of saying it. I like the Dazzle 5. Like, a lot of these moments has been the Dazzle prolonging the life, opening up the fight, and of course you could argue the draft on Tidebound is, you know, long damage over time, it's control, it kind of, that's exactly what a Dazzle support would love to play into. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the kind of the read that Aurora had to be able to pick it in this position, and it's just doing so much work. They need to find him. It's like you need to find the Dazzle, you also need to enable the lockdown to be close enough to Alina to kill a hero, whilst also not getting jumped by a Shaker or a Void Spirit. That sounds pretty difficult. That is why Tidebound are struggling in this game so far.
And just banking on Lina to get as big as possible before they can maybe play together in these big team fight situations.
Like, I mean, there's always a world where Shiro puts his head down, gets BKB, Daedalus, Satanic, and just enters every fight going, I can kill Gyrocopter. Like, I don't care about Gyrocopter. Like, there is a point where Lina will outscale the Gyro, but we just saw the items. We are like dreaming of a far future land that we are not near. As Ollie, of course, utilizes Grave to be able to tank the Tormentor, plus Holy Locket, and then they give the Shard to Mirror. Again, very nice Shard to amp up the pick-off potential for a Shaker or a Void Spirit.
Tidebound knows that something's over here, but they weren't expecting Toronto Tokyo just to come out of the tree line with a Fissure and an Echo Slam. Doesn't net them the kill on Echoes yet, but Mikoto's still trying to chase. They need the defensive coil
Song
to hold them back, and a Song of the Siren TP out from Naga Siren, making sure that there are no casualties.
Ooh, okay. I also wasn't aware of that, to be fair, but Dazzle, when you go into your Nuffle projection, you don't get Song, so you can also stun people up if you're in range. That's kind of cool. Today I learned.
What's he going to stun them with?
His first spell. Hex him up. Da, 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 da. God, Nightfall's so big. 606.
I knew. Way out in the open again. He's been the punching bag. All game
crikey.
long.
Yeah, his scoreline. Whew. I know he's died, but I didn't think he died 6 times. I was like, man, maybe 5. Nope. The guy's 0-6-0 on new. Meanwhile, Naga Siren is 4-2-6. Been part of every single kill. Whew. For Tidebound. How you doing, Gareth?
I'm trying to figure out when did they change Dazzle's poison touch? Because they used to be shard with the hex, right?
Yes. It's now tied into just pressing your ult.
Gotcha. Funny little guy.
Yeah.
That tooltip's far too long.
It is. Yeah, if you're on Wikipedia and read Knuckle Projection, you have to like scroll. There's like, chill, man.
Hello. They found a pick off straight away. Gyro's age is immediately claimed. Shiro with the BKB stunning up Nightfall as the arena comes in. Fisher trying to protect the Gyro on his way back out, but he's been surrounded. They found him. Shiro picks up a double. Now a coil on Mikoto. Aurora coming in one by one. Break away with this. The ensnares there. A Fisher lined up. Toronto Tokyo can't blink Echo. News on his tail. He's gonna have to spend it just to try and bail away. So Mikoto finished off by the orb. While Aurora completely fall apart, trying to defend this Gyro who lost his life with the Aegis. They end up losing 4 heroes.
I'm gonna request a replay of that fight because, whew, Tidebound, we set these conditions on how do they want to start a fight. Like, what is their checklist to maybe being able to fight into Aurora that was scaling so beautifully, and they found it, right? Shiro hitting the tower. Nightfall just runs in head on, and look, Dazzle's not ready. Nightfall wastes his BKB in his first life. He's got so overconfident. A thing that we just don't see from Nightfall. Nightfall is a very disciplined player. He will press the BKB early. He'll maybe even hold the BKB for the second life, but just running head on in, kind of dragging Aurora. Like, oh, okay, we're fighting. So for Tidebound, they're of course going to want to take this engagement anew. Sure, he's died 6 times, not had much of a game, but his job here, stopping Toronto Tokyo from entering the fight, stopping the Blink Dagger, of course, from the Earthshaker, just constantly threatening him there. You couldn't ask for a better fight from Tidebound, but also you couldn't ask for a worse start to an engagement from Aurora. I'm surprised.
They feel invincible, right? They feel like they've dominated this laning stage. They're running the game. Gyro is miles ahead, gets the Aegis. Then immediately losing it, look at that. Not respecting the Lina who comes out with that Mjolnir BKB.
That's the treat of a Lina, right? Like, at any minute in the game, if you can just stand your ground and right-click the entire time, you are going to break people. You are going to do the damage. But Aurora had done such a good job at finding him, right? The smoke ganks at 16 minutes to find him, to the early lane kills, like they were always stopping Lina from feeling like she had presence. The one time they forget about her is when she steps up, and I say forget about her. Nightfall kind of ran head on into her and died, but the point stands. 3,000 gold lead now for Tidebound. They're chasing. They're looking. Blink is on cooldown, so ooh, Echo's having to BKB. I like the BKB pickup though. It is a nice BKB pickup, right? You got big magic damage from Gyrocopter, the control of a Shaker. Echoes is like, I don't want to try and play around with Aeon discs and stuff. I just want to be in the fight. I don't want to have to think about my entry.
I don't know that catapult's worth it, Mikoto. Wheel of Wonder is there. Hypnotizes at the very end after the spear initiation from New. You're just fighting there. You saw Tidebound down here. Mikoto says, I'm going to stick around and hit a catapult for a bit. Very disjointed stuff from Aurora in the past couple of minutes. Yeah, and now it's no longer you with the advantage, no longer a level playing field. You're now behind. Like, the Gyro doesn't have that 3k gap between himself and the opposing carry, where he was feeling comfortable.
He had such a free game, honestly. He was on just complete cruise control. Like, go take a fight with his team, reset, farm item, keep going, keep going. He eventually would have Daedalus Satanic and be untouchable, but yeah, need to be careful. Shiro, close on his tail, only 1,000 gold behind. And New, again, quite an empty looking game, but he's overtaken the Shaker in net worth. So Toronto Tokyo, he also struggled a little bit. In lane, wasn't getting the kills that we were expecting. Mira did die, missed a couple pushbacks, but have we seen that big slam, that big moment where Toronto Tokyo is showing why they're picking the offlane Shaker? Yeah, things just haven't connected.
It all started going downhill when Nightfall rejoined them at the boot camp. He's a notorious yapper, so maybe he's just taking up all the space with his comms.
Yeah, the mic sensitivity at his home PC was lower, so they're missing half of what he was saying. But on boot camp, you know, it's open
triple.
mic and yeah, they're hearing triple.
In real life, through his mic, through Makoto's mic, everybody's hearing it. Oh, and here's New, feeling much better about his game now after he's got a kill and he started some fights off. Doesn't get the follow through from the rest of his team that he was maybe expecting. And Nightfall is thinking about chasing with a homing missile, moving on to Lina, but Makoto's been caught and silenced in the back. A stun forces out the gyro BKB. Aurora struggling to latch onto something meaningful here as Tidebound do a really good reset.
I go like the blazes.
Things have got sloppy real quickly.
Yeah, for Tidebound, it's go for an objective. As soon as you see Aurora react, just reset. Because these are the type of moves that honestly just annoy Nightfall, right? Again, we always speak about him being like a disciplined player, an efficiency player. If he wastes a TP and now has to run back across the map, like, you know he's just getting more and more frustrated in the game. Like, and this will eventually compound to another mistake down the line. You know, if I'm Aurora clicking my offlaner, I'm not inspired by the by the quick buy. It's like, all right, what are we doing, boss? Oh, it's second item.
You'll get there.
Aeon disc? Yeah. I don't know why. I didn't even click to look. I just went into my head like, why have I started on Aeon disc? But still, like, it is very big how Tidebound have itemized for survivability, right? It's like the triple BKB, you got Solar Crest, natural toolkit of Ringmaster. They're kind of ready. The joy of this game, though, is the fact that either team, given the vision, can just break open the game once again, right? So you got a slam with the Void Spirit, the Gyrocopter. Like, there is a world where you just find a hero, and if Nightfall just goes to the Blink Dagger, look at that quick buy. What if he doesn't go Satanic? What if he goes for the Blink? Trades out the Falcon, gets the Blink. Shiro could just get surprised by that. And we'll see where he wants to go with it. 15 for 15, 29 minutes into the game. We're one game away from locking in a 3-for-3 scoreline in the group stage. And not qualifying for the playoffs, but obtaining a nice little extra bounty of EPT points and dollars. That is what both teams are playing for in this series.
Well, they're still live, right? If you're 3-2 at the start of the day, like 4-1 was guaranteed. I need to go 4-2, right? Not 3-3.
Yeah. Yes.
Bye-bye, Hoodwink. Math is hard.
Especially when the group stage is so big, it gets real messy. But yeah, both these teams are 2 and 3. Yeah. These two teams are 2 and 3, so they are below this threshold of the 2 losses required for playoffs, due to how all the other teams went.
Yeah. And Tidebound in a pretty good spot for tier 2 into Tormy.
Tower has fallen.
A couple of seconds until we'll see when Roshan respawns. Reasonably long one.
Ooh, and Shiro is looking for the Silver Edge potentially. So we see other carries just keep going for big statement items. Shiro is thinking more about the positioning, not allowing the Shaker Initiation or the Void Spirit that potential comeback. But look how silly Tommy is. You take it, plus 2,500 gold.
Nightfall is literally just looking at his 6-slotted inventory and thinking, guys, wait, just wait until I get there. Maybe
Just
regrets
one
not going
more
for Dragonlance
item.
or something. He's been struggling to have the range to get his damage out, but I guess when he gets to Swift Blink, that will be fixed a little bit.
Yeah, just for me, the big timing for Nightfall, of course, right now the Satanic is really, really big, but getting that Blink Dagger, being able to actually like lock onto a hero during the control, will just change the matchup once again. I think Tidebound, they need to be ready for this. Like, this is not meant to be a surprise. There shouldn't be one death on Shiro. It's like, oh, okay, there's a Blink now.
Smoke's about to break. It's a real delicate moment as they see the supports. Toronto Tokyo jumps them. Echo slams down Planet. Arena and BKB up from Shiro. Pushes back the Gyro. Glimmercape to save him. Aurora hunting, looking to continue this fight as Mikoto is going to get onto the back of the Naga Siren, but the jump away from Y, blinks the high ground. Does he have a TP to escape? The Fisher comes out now. This does get popped there on Toronto Tokyo, unfortunately for him. Just killing off a support and losing that cooldown kind of sucks. And Tidebound down to supports, but with the way that started, pretty happy to get their calls out of there.
Yeah, Tidebound, they just got jumped, right? We mentioned how both lineups have this ability to still kill, right? It's not as if one team's fading in damage, but yeah, Aurora make the jump. They force Tidebound to be defensive, reposition. Lina tried to go onto the gyrocopter, but with a Satanic on the gyro, you cannot go on that hero first. Like, Lina needs to try and execute the Void Spirit, the Hoodwink, the Dazzle, like, open up number advantage, then look for gyrocopter later. But yeah, the start of that fight for Tidebound, you don't have the position. You're in the, like, this like weird low ground, high ground area. Of course, you see from Shiro, the Mjolnir, the Pike, the BKB, only a small crit. He's still an item away from threatening Gyrocopter in the damage department. They're going Roshan, throwing in the wheel.
BKB Puck is in there, Echo's taking some big damage from Nightfall, who still gets the Aegis and the Roche kill. And on towards the Mars, who gets boxed up for the moment. Laguna Light Strike dumps some damage into the Gyro, but Shiro's got to bail now. Lina dips down south. Tidebound, they disengage without losing too much. A nice attempted contest of the Roche Pit, but Aurora still come out the victors. And going into that pit alone is super scary against Daedalus Aghanim's Gyro. The side gunner hits you once, you just lose half your HP.
I mean, the poor old Puck, he jumped in and Roshan was like, "What are you doing in my pit?" Bam! Bash! And now Echo's like, "Oh god, I have to hide in phase shift. I can't just like hold my ground trying to snatch the Aegis."
Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant structures are fortified.
With the Aegis on Nightfall again. Round 2. Of course, the last time he had the Aegis, he did TP in, waste the BKB die,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
kind of open up the game for Tidebound, but
Yeah, this time they're set up, or at least they thought they were. Mira was trying to scout out the incoming heroes of Tidebound.
he was placing the ward behind the tower. It's kind of like the classic ward to place when you're sieging a tier 2. Get that behind vision, see if they're setting up to defend it. If not, you can be relaxed. If they are, of course, think about the blink dodges and whatnot, but Tidebound aren't looking to de-ward that ward, even though they saw the hoodwink. For Tidebound though, they just need to kind of eat through this Aegis, keep shoving the waves aggressively. Ooh, maybe even get a little pick off. All right, hello Shiro, we see you. He has the Daedalus, so damage is now on the cards for Lina. And both of these carriers kind of do the same thing, right? Just big right-click damage if not shut down, not locked down. And that's where Tidebound can utilize the Arena on Mars to try and change the matchup slightly in the bigger team fights. You killing the courier, that would have been a refresher orb.
Yeah, now out of the game for 3 minutes. 30 seconds with no Void Spirit, so this Aegis timing being whittled down. As Tidebound find a bit of damage on that mid tier 2. And Lina just opens up with a long-range artillery. They've got the spotlight, they've got the drums. It's Naga Siren with a reset, always there to turn the battle as well. But Aurora have 2 minutes left on Aegis. They feel like they should be the ones going out and making these moves on their own. But first, it's maintaining lanes. I'm trying to get out on this massive map. And that's where Lina with his Boots of Travel just feels that little bit better. She can play as that almost Spectre kind of hero. Sit on one side, farm, and then join, getting from the trees, blows up Mikoto in that one. But you can play opposing side. Not show yourself. Be tucked away very safely. Aurora have shown that they need these long-winded smoke gangs to get into position to find Shiro at all. At this point in the game, it doesn't feel particularly worth it.
Yeah, for Tidebound, it's just keep dodging, keep waiting, open up the fight when there's not an Aegis in play. Again, 1:10 minutes left on it. And to be fair, look at it. When you look at the power play, Aurora have lost 5,000 gold under the cover of having an Aegis. You know, that kind of the mindset when you have one is to walk into, kind of, hold your hand, walk down the lanes as 5, try to make these moves. And Tidebound, though, they're TPing in. But this ward behind the tower that they didn't de-ward when they killed the Hoodwink might have seen a couple of those teleports. And that doesn't mean Aurora is able to disengage from this area. They go for the scan, they don't connect. Tidebound, they're looking to take the fight. Again, to me, it just feels like it's a little bit too soon, right? With nearly a minute on the Aegis when they started teleporting in. If Aurora were ready, that would have just been an Aegis fight that they have been expertly dodging for the last 4 minutes of said Aegis. Again, 22 seconds now. Now would be a good time for Tidebound to fight. They are marching down the lane, though. They're not trying to hide what they're doing. This is a very clear statement to Aurora. Gyrocopter picks up the Swift Blink.
Yeah, try and
okay.
push out the wave. Stop the advance on the tier 2. And they still have the high ground vision in their Ancients area. So they're trying to play under the observables that they've got. But Tidebound are going to respect this. Fully retreating to go play out the rest of the map. I guess now you've created this vacuum where Aurora have to push out mid, bottom lane, move into that bottom jungle for the top, bottom tier 2. Already thinking about the next Roshan coming up in potentially 2.5 minutes. So there's all the room in the world here for Tidebound to get into that next round of items. That Silver Edge, which Shiro will go back for after that Daedalus Satanic he's managed to pick up. The Aghanim Scepter of the Puck is here. And honestly, new on this Mars. Still down at the bottom in terms of net worth, but he has very well recovered. Closing in on the refresher.
He has the clutch potential, right? Like, when he gets that refresher, I'm looking at Nu. He's going to be the big deciding factor, I think, for Tidebound's fight. Can he protect his team with the correct arena, forcing Nightfall to BKB to maybe walk into the arena to stop his ranged hits from being eaten by the wall? If he then does that, what happens with the second arena? Is he then stopping maybe Dazzle from getting in position to get a grave off? I think Nu, even though he's had quite a, again, quiet game, he will be the reason I think Tidebound are able to potentially close out this second game and force out a game 3. I realised we've done a good job this game, Gareth, not going on a tangent. I feel like in the back of my mind, I keep the devil on my shoulders, like, hey, you want to talk about something else other than the game whilst they're farming?
Yeah, there's no planet or moon here.
Nah, that's true. Oh, Nightfall. We can talk about, like, tidal patterns and gravitational pull and whatnot.
Or how the moon is a mirror.
Oh, that is true. It uses the sun's reflection to be lit.
Does bend Mira's name into mirror? But the moon is not a planet.
No.
A big
Talking about the moon,
Aurora.
do you think the moon landing was no? Smoke up. That is correct. What will Aurora find?
This Shiro's going to show on that lane. They know the lane is nearby. Mira's going to scuttle forward, trying to scout. But Toronto Tokyo smoke breaks, and he's in the wave vision, so they won't be able to find the opening. And the D-ward is there from Tidebound. Everybody tightening up. If this is an instant Roshan spawn, it seems like both teams want to be ready for it. 5 seconds to go. And a 5-man smoke from Tidebound now to return the favor. I don't see any Radiant Vision to play into on that dire side of the map. Whereas there's plenty of dire vision here around the Ancients for Aurora to play under. And new smoke breaks. Immediate jump on the Earthshaker, but Eonder saves him. They hypnotize the Gyrocopter. The Raid comes through and he can Satanic back up. Nightfall stands his ground and fights into Shiro, but they pike down to low ground. Toronto Tokyo goes for the refresh. Jumps on the Lina. A ton of control, but not enough damage. The Song of the Siren's good. The second Eon Disc is there. Toronto Tokyo breaks free while Makoto is getting stunned, speared, caught on the edge of the cliff. Cannot be saved. Gyro now will finally open up, but Shiro standing tall. able to get a Hurricane Pike back as well. Nightfall sent to the high ground, not where he belongs.
Another
Grave
grave.
Dump again, saved by Ollie, but for how long? Tidebound going to clear through 4 here as Aurora lose a massive fight in their own Ancients area under their own vision.
Whew. Another fight, Aurora. They're starting it after Tidebound is initiated. It really is a game of who starts on who, right? This time around, Tidebound, the Hex on the Ringmaster opens up the engagement beautifully. Mars, he walks up the high ground, gives the vision. The Ringmaster hexes the Shaker, opens up the arena. Nightfall, we already mentioned how important arena is in the late game. The arena protects Shiro, forces Nightfall to BKB, and then you have this little back and forth between the two heroes where they're kind of like dancing in and out of the wall, and all that time, Gyrocopter's not converting on big explosive damage that he can do, right? To get in the middle of the fight, flak everyone, he's not doing that at all. He's just entering this like one-on-one fight with Lina, and when you have a Satanic on both the cores, of course they're going to survive kind of the big brawl, and yeah, for Tidebound, perfectly just taking this fight, kiting, and yeah, Toronto Tokyo, the Shaker. Have you felt the real effect of him in this game so far? I'm personally leaning towards it's not punching into game compared to the likes of the Mars, right?
It feels much easier for New just to go in and kind of sacrifice himself, say, hey,
Oh.
this is a big arena, we'll fight around it. Whereas Toronto
Brother,
Tokyo
they have
needs
double-
to pick an actual target. He needs to go on Lina. He needs the team to follow through, and if they're not all on the same page there, he just feels wasted.
Yeah, and whilst we talk about the last fight, right, we have a refresher picked up on Naga Siren, a refresher picked up on the Mars. You know, when you talk about BKB usages for Nightfall, he has to be so careful. What if he BKBs by himself and then there's a song? Everyone goes to sleep, but Nightfall's awake. Tidebound just hammering into him. It's another reason why Naga Siren is such a menace at the late game. You can exploit BKB usages really nicely. And Tidebound, they can, you know, sense the blood in the water. They're going crazy on this map. They're just running around together using the gem. Oop, not dewarding though. Only one hit and they backed out.
Got a coil down on this gyro, just BKB's up low. They're going to try and escape from this one. The arena's good. Nightfall's pinned up inside. They've got a grave down on him, but I don't think he's living through this one. Hexed up again. The Skadi will take him out from Shiro. Gyro gone for 100 seconds with buyback available, but it feels like Tidebound are just running this game. They'll double buyback now and look to try and fight back alongside Makoto and maybe an Echo Slam out of Toronto Tokyo. He's there onto Planet. Shiro's been exposed with the Fissures lining up a nice cross pattern to block him in. Nightfall moves forward, but the slowdown from the Skadi. He can't move an inch. He's stuck there. The Grave will buy a little bit of time. He's got Satanic to play forward. Shiro, the target to go on, but the Spirit control's far too good. GG called. Aurora tap out, and we head to a game 3.
Whew, okay. Signs of life from Tidebound. You know, they had some moments in this game of shakiness, but you know, the Lina pickup at the end, they needed to find a range hero to be able to utilize open up the active runes, bring Storm into the game, force the overlap of the fight. But yeah, the supports on Aurora, all on them, I feel.
Let's start the clock then. 25 minutes. We'll see if Aurora are able to get what do you reckon? 25 minutes, 10k lead. Is that what they need? Is that an overreach?
No, I think it's fair. It's always difficult though because you've got a gyrocopter, right? Like a gyro doesn't try to break open the game this quickly. So yeah, I'd say 10-12k lead at 25, and Aurora has a good shot.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you could say that for any team in any draft. That sounds quite like an open statement. Yeah,
But it is a very scary Tidebound late game here if they're allowed to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how things go, though. Yeah, we still have this opportunity, you know, you're saying Ollie with his Enchantress to kind of chip open the tier 1s, get pressure into the mid lane, mana burn people down. Mirror Scarlet Mage does do a lot of lane damage alongside his Primal Beast, so maybe some early kills onto a Shadow Demon, for example, who isn't the strongest of laners here. Shadow Demon Medusa is very farm-focused, lane-heavy, defensive, creep-hitting guys. They don't offer much punchback. And then Slardar with Ringmaster into the Gyro Ench is also going to be kind of nasty. Already, Shiro is getting harassed away from the Bounty Rune. It's still going to be a 2 for 2. But they'll start out with... Now, is this a lane block, or is this a lane clear with Trample? It might just be a Y kill. Force disruption already. Enchantress has a blood grenade. Chuck it in onto Y, who goes for the TP across to the tier 1 tower. And then Toronto Tokyo has
TPing
blocked
as well.
the wave.
Okay. Yeah. Double TP from the safe lane duo of Tidebound. But they do TP in time to keep the wave at least in front of the tower. If they double TP'd and were late to the block, whew, that would have been a devastating start to this lane.
Minus 200 gold, right?
Massive net worth swing in the favor of Aurora.
And now a courier, Mikoto just gets a courier killed mid. Don't expect to see that. Echo's given over another little bit of cash there to give Aurora an even better time starting out this lane stage. The Storm already 4-0 from that first wave. Having a perfect time. And Echo's on this DK. I can't remember the last time I saw him play it, but we've had a decent amount of Dragonite mids. Still go for this Corrosive Dragon. Wait, hang on, is Mirror dead? Top with a snake. The blood grenade damage not quite enough from Y to finish it. So the Primal will trample down, turn on Y, but equally cannot trade for the kill.
Yeah,
But
for
it feels
mid DK this game.
Yeah, mid DK
Sorry,
is
go
no
on.
longer going for this just blink initiation. They still scale with the carry items, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe if you want a bit more aggression in the lineup, then Echoes could think about like a Blink Orchid build potentially, just to try and lock down that Storm Spirit a little bit longer, stopping the Primal Beast with his Pulverized pre-BKB. Like, there is a window that it could be an option. Going on to Mirror, they do miss the setup of the Gorgon's Grasp.
Well, Shiro just out of mana though. Medusa does get the takedown on Mirror and gets away with a little help out the magic wand. But now they've got no tangos, no mangoes, no nothing here to keep the Medusa happy.
They have a Basti coming out on Courier for the Medusa, and then they have only a Clarity and Salve on Shadow Demon's Courier. Sometimes at this stage you bring out like 2-3 mangoes on a support, and then you just force feed the Medusa.
Nightfall. He's all right at half health, and they're going to turn on to New, who has a Fairy Fire under his tower to stay alive, so he's actually going to survive. There's a cool little attempt there to get onto the gyro and look for the kill, but very optimistic. Mirror steps forward up top. Another disruption into low HP Scarith Mage, but another trample onto Y should net them a kill. You don't expect First Blood to go to the Medusa Shadow Demon lane.
Yeah, it's... Mirror has been like stepping up to try and use his toolkit, but every time he does, and the double range click, they are making sure they're always on top of him. The concern is all that fight from Medusa. He's 9 CS. Of course, as of the wave coming into him, so we'll be able to pick up a little bit more, but we mentioned the supports being so important for Aurora, but also Storm Spirit, right? His early game, punishing the lack of control that support duo has. In a farming game, a Storm can just keep picking off these farming heroes. As Toronto Tokyo dies top. I was not looking, but he got disrupted into Gorgon's Grasp and just disappeared.
Not a great sign. I was watching this lane dragging bottom where Planet drags the wave, Ollie tries to connect it. Some nonsense happening there. Just trying to give New a bit of a better time, but it also means Nightfall gets this big, juicy dire wave to flak down. Another game that isn't particularly crisp from either team, just trying to find this footing in the early laning stage, but so far the team which we felt required this early game start and the kills and the lead up into mid game are down a couple of kills. It's only really the Storm having a good time, so a lot resting on Mikoto's shoulders, especially once we get to minute 6 active rune to maybe find something. But this is where Slardar potentially doesn't have a lane anymore.
Yeah, he's just kind of here. He's just hoping again. Edge is such a great lane bully. You've got the Dispel as well in the sprint. Like it's such a hard Slardar lane.
Oh, it's so difficult.
His road to Blink, it's like once he gets Corrosive Haze, maybe he waits for the DK to rotate into his lane. Maybe Shadow Demon takes the Twin Gate because Gyro's really pushed up the lane, but he needs a lifeline from his team.
They're going to go for Toronto Tokyo again. Disruption into Grasp. He's got Onslaught to create the gap, but that Snake follows. Not enough damage to finish him, but that's put him out of order for a while as Mira trades into Y. We've got a salve coming or something? No, it's boots. Boots for Toronto Tokyo so he could run away faster. But no regen, he's just getting clicked down by the Medusa. I mean, is he dead? Shiro's a hit away from getting the kill on this Primal Beast. Mira's trying to get there with a trade. The turnaround, the bait is not good enough. They had tons of sustain there with a wand out of Shiro to stay alive. And I don't know, Aurora just flailing. 6-minute run is going to be a DD for the Dragon Knight as well now. And Mira's gone. What is happening?
I could say what we're seeing, but
you talked about
I don't know why we're seeing it. Yeah.
The pressure and the need to play aggressively, right? But is that pressure already getting to them? Toronto Tokyo's diving tower looking for Shiro. Like, Nightfall's rotated here, level 5. And I'm not even sure they'll get this kill still. The home missile, it'll connect, but that's 5 1 charges and a mango. Okay, Shiro. Low HP, low mana. Damage coming in. New gonna save up the Medusa, heal her back up, and turn onto Toronto Tokyo. The Primal Beast is gonna die for the 3rd time, giving a killing spree to the Medusa. In Tidebound are laughing.
You can see they are. I mean, New wants a high five. He wants to just remind Aurora what they're doing, because you can see Toronto Tokyo though, like, he's trying to go for the big play every time, right? He's on 13 HP. I don't know what replay. Okay, we're gonna see the replay here. So Shiro's Kuru comes in, he gets the mango, he tread switches, eats the mango, puts the it back to strength treads to maximize his HP. Of course, his mana pool is dwindling, and New rotates him to get the kill. But even the fight before this, right? It's a 13 HP Primal who tries to use the tree line to get the kill on Medusa. Again, Medusa's such a, you know, more death.
Has been clapped here by New and Planet. Yeah, more death. Slardar will be glad to hand his life over to kill that gyrocopter just once. And this is also forced a 2 support rotation into the bottom lane.
Yeah.
A dream start from Medusa lineup. Winning lane stage?
3 farming cores, winning the laning stage, and having like 1,000 more gold on your carry-to-carry matchup. You couldn't ask for just a better start. And Aurora, the issue is, like, when you give away these early moves, you're dragging heroes around the map. Nightfall's going top, going bot. The Storm, like, he's having a good lane. Like, he had good farm, but with everything falling apart, he now can't call a hero to mid lane and go, guys, let's kill the DK on his first dragon form, because you're already, like, putting out fires elsewhere. Like, this is the perfect time here. Nightfall, you hit level 6 from playing stable bottom, you TP to mid lane, you put the cooldown, very traditional old school Dota, but you kill the DK, you run back to lane. That's not going to happen, because they've been doing the Twin Gates and all these other shenanigans. And Primal Beast, we said it's like not the best pickup because of the saves. He had to be explosive, and he's only got brown boots and double bracer to his name. Like, he might go for a phase, he might go for Naked Blink, but we're not going to be looking at Toronto Tokyo anytime soon to be explosive. As he walks back to the lane, and look at the Shadow Demon already disrupting up.
Onslaught, at least, to get some distance. So he'll survive. I don't know what kind of life he's living, just running away from lane all the time.
There's flashbacks to the Timber game, right? But in fairness, he caught up and was able to dominate that game on the Timber. It is quite different, though. I think Timber to Primal. Timber can farm Ancients and can just farm jungle very efficiently, and a Primal has to, you know, angrily stomp his way through the map and hope to catch up.
I mean, when your carry hits level 6 in, like, I mean, the 10th minute of the game, it's a rough one. Nightfall finally has that cooldown ready, but Corrosive Haze is on him, and yeah, you need this Observer Ward by the Twin Gate to see if there's any rotations coming. Makoto's Storm will come across, try and relieve some of this pressure and blow up New. A much needed move there from Aurora, just to regain control. The Planet is going to immediately deward the Twin Gate though, so they can keep playing back and forth there. And the age-old problem of you dealt with one issue, you killed the Slardar, you know, you stopped the lane bleed from continuing a little bit, give Nightfall a good time, and you see where Medusa and Dragon are just farming, building stacks in the Ancients. The bank account swells for Tidebound.
Okay, Makoto. He has an Arcane, though. Can he create anything else from this? So, I mean, we put a lot of emphasis on supports, right? Fast forward 10 minutes after the draft, I'm now looking at Makoto. It's like, all right, boss, what can you do? How can you shine on one of your best heroes, right?
How can you give Primal a couple of minutes of
On the
untouched
planet,
farming
huh?
time? When a kill on planet's nice.
He just walked into the river and died.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, well, bring the troll creep, bring the catapult. Start tickling on the tower. Even Primal's TPing to mid. They just want to bring the numbers. They want to just stop DK from playing on this tower and keeping it alive.
Yeah, very aggro. But look at who's joined in. Shiro's Medusa's here. Clears out Mira. Makoto still has mana there to get away if he does get jumped. But a real statement move by Shiro saying, yes, I'm going to join my team. We lose the tower, but I'm going to show that I will arrive in these fights if you force me to.
Yeah, both the forward positions overstepping in this early game. Now Echoes with another dragon form will take this tower, and because of taking the tower, he will have the gold for Blink Dagger.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Of course, dragon form will be on cooldown when he does get the blink, plus the move to the lane he wants to try and gank. But to be fair, if there ever was a game where you don't go blink, maybe DK could have skipped first item blink just to continue farming. It's not as if like Medusa's going to join him, right?
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if is it just Armlet Mom on his DK.
Yeah. Like he could have been a little cheeky with his build, but I think in fairness, the DK also respects the fact that if there is a fight, if he does go blink, even if he's farming with it, TP to a tower, blink in, you know, you can create that turnaround potential. But Nightfall, he smoked up with the Sky, walked to mid lane, playing for the 12-minute rune, saw they were top and went, all right, I'm back to farm. You know, Nightfall, he's itching for the fight, right? Like the twin gate rotations, the early smoke moves. He can't just feel the pressure. Yeah.
The 10, 11, 12k lead by 20 minutes, it's not gonna build itself, is it?
Hey, no, that's true. That is true. You gotta work your way there. He's just one smoke away. That's, imagine how broken Dota would be. Actually, just one kill, poof, 10 kill. Really.
And it wasn't far off that back in the day with the rubber band mechanics. If you were super far ahead, the whole buyback situation is pretty rough. Makoto is going to find an opening on Echoes. Wheel of Wonder's real good here, but the Dragonite's going to get blasted by the Mystic Flare. Tame the Beast doesn't hold them back, and now Aurora, firing on all cylinders, finally getting this Makoto, Storm, and Gyro paired up together, looking to flag down Planet. Pops his wand, has a Lotus to try and heal himself up, but dies regardless. Does not have a point in the escape act yet, so cannot save from the chasers.
The DK got baited by his itemization. Like, if he didn't have Blink Dagger, he's not making this move. He's not running into the enemy side of the map. He jumps in, blinks an inch, runs away, and goes, wait, why did I just blink stun the inch? Like, what am I doing? And, you know, he just dies. Like, it feels like a very unnecessary move on Tidebound. Like, Shiro's farming, he has Manta, he's looking for Skadi, of course, you know, many minutes away from that. If Tidebound want to win this game cleanly, it's just a matter of shove waves, play near your kind of teleport points, and then you're fine. Also, I've never said teleport points in my life in a cast. I just made that up on the spot. That felt weird. Anyway, yeah, for Tidebound, hit creep, win game. I think they might adjust Echo's positioning now based on that last attempt of aggression. Saying that, he's walked into more heroes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them there. Aurora just playing buddy system now. Storm and Gyro are just holding hands, not farming, going aggressively onto Y. Escape Act finally comes in, saves the Shadow Demon from the immediate danger, while New dives onto Mira. Squishy Scarlet Mage is food for the Slardar as the Primal Beast arrives with a Pulverize, but New breaks free thanks to Planet, still gonna die by his tier 2 tower.
Aurora are playing how they meant to, right?
Planet and
Keep
Y,
going.
careful. Nightfall's coming for you.
I mean, Nightfall has itemized to be this aggressive, right? He's got like, the Falcon, the Dragon Lance, looking good for Yasha, which means he'll be probably going Manta after this. It does open up for the Diffusal that you were joking about in the cast, right? But in the draft, sorry, not the cast, but he might entertain it. It is such a good Diffusal game, though. I would love to see it. The Slardar, DK, and Medusa
Yeah.
You hurt their mana pools. It is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Flashback to the Thompson Diffusal versus that Bristleback all the way back in the day.
Exact same logic can just be copy pasted to this game.
Well, they've really picked up the tempo the last 5 minutes. Aurora feeling the game slipping away from them with the heavy farming Tidebound side.
But it's self-inflicted though for Tidebound, right? It's like the DK move bottom, the DK death on the bottom rune. It's his net worth just disappeared.
Toronto Tokyo's finally showing up. He's still working on his Blink Dagger, but every kill will add up to that. And they've got high ground vision over towards the DK as well.
So I can see with the Primal, he bought his shard, right? As it struck 15, he instantly bought up the shard. With the stone throw, it gives a little bit more control, but also just really clean wave push. I do like seeing Primals take the shard as early as possible.
Yeah, especially with this like double bracer soaring business, you've got plenty of mana. Just to keep chucking spells.
You have no concern with it.
And DK being eyed up in his mid lane again. Escape act, magic resist, and the save gets him out of the catch. And that is the problem here for Mira. It is difficult, like you said, against these two saving supports to actually land your spells. And now there's the opportunity for Tidebound to go back in to defeat Ollie's Enchantress. Mikoto's Storm is still lurking here. Got a good amount of damage on Planet, but Tidebound have really tightened up. There's literally 5 heroes in the mid lane looking for a proper scrap. Every passing moment this Medusa gets to keep on farming after a good laning stage is a worry for Aurora. Skadi is 2,000 gold away now. It's usually Medusa's big old timing. Toronto Tokyo dropped to new, but Mikoto and Ollie are here. Does DK want to blink in and turn this? He does. He's on to Mira's Scarth Mage, and you trying to get away from there, but the cooldown lands too quickly. Mikoto just keeping on going with the mana pool and the shield rune he's got going. Looking at this Echo's Dragon Knight as a lovely target to pick off as Tidebound go and bite off more than they could chew.
Tidebound, they started with the nice pick on the Primal, right? But Nu kind of stayed a little bit longer, walked down the lane after the kill, and then Aurora. The tier 1 tower is still alive at the 17-minute mark. It's like, thank you very much. Yeah, God, don't remind me of that. What am I talking about? Teleport point. I was trying to say, like, how'd you combine outposts and towers and then like all of it together? Like,
I think teleport point is fine. Just a bit funny with a PP.
Okay, all right. Oh, where's he doing nowadays? South American mid laner. Oh, okay. Imagine. Still like one of the most upvoted posts on Reddit, by the way, is just the
tiny PP.
The PP cast. Yeah. I mean, thank God Lacoste was casting it. I don't think anyone else would be able to do true justice.
Well, I think the funny thing is it's like we were casting SADPC Lacoste and I years ago.
Yeah.
When was DPC? Was it 4 years ago? 3?
Brother, it was time. Yeah, it was like 4 years ago. It was,
and we were casting
like 2021. Yeah.
We were casting PP and Mini against each other in mid lane. So we had mini PP. No one caught wind of that.
No, I know. Good point, actually. No, I remember this. The PP meme's been around for a long time. You know.
Yeah.
We've all been aware of the PP, but yeah,
just take some good editing to get it up on the
exactly.
That's all you need. Well, Mikoto's going to try and break vision here, see what he can find in the back lines, but Y was well tucked in the trees. So Ancient's area taken over by Aurora, while Tidebound playing the buddy system here. Shadow Demon behind the Medusa. Planet's Ringmaster near this new Slardar. And combined with the Dragon Knight as well as they move up towards the top tier 1, evading Aurora's moves. Super even though. 11 to 11. 1k lead for Tidebound. Still a situation where Aurora need to pull out some outplays to get some pickoffs and good team fights in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
But it will be possible, right? The kind of the saving grace for Aurora's lineup is their ability to ignore the Medusa, right? Gyrocopter can by Blink Dagger. The Storm Primal naturally are high mobility based heroes. You know, if Shiro ever steps up too far, creates kind of like a rift between the positioning of, you know, her to the supports. That's what like the Storm needs to, you know, showcase his, you know, just aggression. Jump to the back lane, Tidebound their smoke up, just to go hit a Tormentor, who gets the shard. Congratulations, Shadow Demon.
And now,
Yeah, it's going to be quite nice.
go play the lanes, play towards Roche. Pretty easy, systematic stuff. As this is, you know, one of the strongest periods for the Medusa. You know, she is still a late game carry, but I feel like 20-25 minutes when she's hit this Manta Skadi, the amount of like, damage and control you need to blow her up is pretty substantial, and I don't know if Aurora have that. As they start on the Dragon Knight, Echo's going to turn with a stun on a Wheel of Wonder to catch out Mikoto's Storm with a Stone Gaze there. Oh, it's beautifully executed. And Shiro can chase with a Skadi now onto Ollie. This Enchantress in some serious danger, cracked down by Planet, and New is still hunting. He's keeping tabs on Mira there. Blink bash into Crush, easily done. Ooh, the Ethereal Ghost Scepter comes in, but he's stun cancelled. Mid TP in a 3-for-0 fight there. Tidebound come out on top big time.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on Mira's face when he dies. Like, you know, it's like, our window in this game, it is falling apart, right? Tidebound, they get to do everything they want, and we said Aurora, to win this game, they have to control the Tormentor. They have to be controlling the Roshan at the 20-minute mark, but it's not the case. Tidebound are taking both. And Mikoto, they're jumping onto the DK. Of course, Planet started with a save on the Dragon Knight. The Courier could deliver the BKB as well. So if this fight was to extend, there would have been a BKB turnaround, but just no one's really there. They're going for a pick-off. The Primal's not there. The Sky hasn't used any of his mana. It's just an optimistic go. And now a 5,000 gold lead and an Aegis on a Manta Skadi Medusa. You talk about like the scaling needed. You know, there's none left. It's just all here. And Medusa does go for the Diffusal Blade herself. Ooh, of course, it's quite a nice little pickup for the Medusa. You get a Disperser, get that bonus move speed for yourself. Mana burning, a Storm can always turn around his. How far can he zip if he's been, you know, punched 9 times during a you know, a DK stun or a Slardar stun? Yeah, Aurora, they're going to have to find something, going to have to find some type of, you know, initiation, but they've yet to really make the move together, right? It's always been kind of like a 1+1, trying to go for a little combination, but
yeah,
there's a world where you put the... Sorry, go on.
With no BKB on Nightfall, it feels also quite risky trying to take these fights. Like, I get this build, I get the Manta style, Dragonlance, but you're still dealing with Slardar, DK, plus the 2 supports on the Dire team that could just control you and kill you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
During a Dragon Knight BKB, if you get Blink stun on this Gyrocopter, what's saving you actually? Is Primal Beast has to go in and probably die himself just to save the Gyro.
Okay, turn to Tokyo is looking at just Aghanims after Blink Dagger.
Okay.
Don't really see this as a rush too often, but
So
to be able
damage?
to apply a break, yeah, just more damage and a break. Like the burst potential when you jump onto some of these tanky heroes, but it's like, okay. I think this is a type of item where we'll have to see it in action. Because I feel like Ags is like a nice supplementary item. You know, it makes other things look good. Like the Shivas plus the Ags, ooh, that's scary. BKB plus the break and you're holding your ground, that's scary. But like an Ags by itself, I just don't know if it's gonna be able to do enough. But again, let's see if Toronto Tokyo has a read on the item and can show us like maybe like a different style of fight that we just haven't seen from other Primal Beasts.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he is that one to kind of react, get into the backlines and blow up these supports, don't allow the saves to come out from Planet and Y. Maybe that's going to be the difference maker. Because I guess he's going to be playing alongside Mikoto. So if Toronto Tokyo and Mikoto can see the supports and just get on top of them, that gives Nightfall a much easier time accessing the rest of the fight. Currently, Mikoto and Mira playing into new Slardar. Dragon Knight's come across here as well, so Echoes is just going to quickly dispatch with a Skyreth Mage. Yeah, playing on the enemy side of the map is always dangerous. But now we're looking at double damage Shiro Medusa. And top tier 2 being a pretty easy objective. I mean, hell, can I go high ground yet?
Ooh.
2 minutes of Aegis. Well, Dragon Knight and Slardar, they're there on Mikoto, trying to control up the Storm. Ooh! Oh, he tried.
It was so close. It was so close to living.
He lifted his little leggies and his armies and tried to zip away. But he's dead. Has buyback available, but now you're looking at your Enchantress being shredded by this Slardar jump. The Medusa's damage. No buyback for Ollie. I guess he went forward to dispel the DD off the Dusa, so at least their tier 3 is surviving. But a new creep wave is coming in, and with a Dragonite here now. No Storm, no Ench. Aurora just giving this one up. You can see the Primal Beast pushing out top.
You asked if they can go high ground. Gareth, I have the answer for you.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very easily.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's still 1 minute left on Aegis as well. Oh, it's very quick. Well, 10k lead for Tidebound. So that's a 20k lead by by the actual metrics. It's not an Alchemist game, but it feels like one.
No, it's actually impossible for Aurora to get that. Even if Tidebound ran it down mid as 5 heroes, all died, they'd have to do it again to then give Aurora the net worth lead that we were looking at for them to be in a winning position in this game. Alright, Tidebound, you know what you need to do.
Well, Toronto Tokyo just getting chain stunned up. Well.
I love the expressions actually in these moments, right? Like Echoes get this kill, and I just see like an eyebrow raise, like, oh, okay, sure.
What's he doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you up to? This isn't Toronto or Tokyo. This is Tormentor, and you're not meant to be here. No visa.
Imagine if Nightfall having to go from his like house to the boot camp was actually big enough of like a mental thing to put them in a losing position. Like it's like one of those like meme statistics, right? Like the Liquid one for their group stage, where it's like Blitz wasn't coaching on the first 2 days, they win. He turns back up on the 12th, they lose. You know, it's kind of the same thing for Nightfall. Like Nightfall at home, win. Nightfall with team, lose.
I just
do love the statistics that have no meaning.
Does he not shower, or what's the issue? Oh, it used to be a problem. I think everyone's got their hygiene under lock now. As high ground ward could be valuable for Tidebound. They don't have their DK or Medusa here. Just allowing the Enchantress to move through the area. And it should get dewarded momentarily. While Toronto Tokyo, well, he's gone in with Makoto. New is BKB'd up with the Wheel of Wonder onto this Primal Beast and an Escape Act to get Planet to get away from the Mystic Flare. The miss uphill, but the damage is still there. Makoto will
Shiro's coming in.
Land that final bit. As Shiro arrives, hasted up Medusa, running at you. And time to hide, Aurora. So a primal for a
When
planet.
Shiro turns up. Every time Shiro turns up, they're like, oh, run away. Because Shiro is so big. Like 7,000 gold lead over the gyrocopter. Has Butterfly, Disperse a Skadi Manta.
I just don't see a world where they can kill him. I'm just laying the foundations of the Castle Curse now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, realistically, the only way he dies is if he's by himself and all 5 Aurora heroes are smacking him. But, you know, any hero can die in Dota if it's a 1v5.
Well, smoke into smoke. Everybody ready to go head on into this fight. Shiro, smoke breaks, front lining. Gonna start out onto Ollie. The damage from this Medusa and the Manta. And Echoes picks up Mirror in the back as well. Ollie somehow has healed up with the sprites, getting a bit of distance, but now has to just face tank the rest of the damage as both Aurora supports fall very quickly. Their cores are left with nothing to do but run back to base.
Just the resources of Aurora just dropping, right? Like they place wards in the fight in the hope to take the fight. They die, they're losing the vision. Tidebound continue just charging down the lane. 16,000 gold lead. Again, this is a game to win. You get 100 EPT points, additional what, $3,500, so very helpful for the players.
Jump on this gyro, immediate blow up of Nightfall, dead with no buyback, and now the Stone Gaze comes down to force Makoto to bail away. Toronto Tokyo gets turned on quickly and taken out of the game. 2 cores gone, GG called. Aurora tap out as Tidebound take the series 2-1. I mean, there's just the early game pressure just was not there from Aurora. Losing that top lane as the Primal Beast and the